Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Saturday the 22nd, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got this morning, fairly decent time frame, not horribly early. The dogs I have are sleeping through the night pretty well for the most part, and my Dane's been doing pretty good about not having to get up at 4:30 to go outside. So it's worked out real well for me. I'm getting a little more sleep in, which is always a good thing. So I did get up though, get the dogs around, got them all out, got them taken care of. Everybody's fed, everybody's happy. Decided I was going to go ahead and go get my run in. Not really a big fan of running in the morning. I did it every day on the cruise ship just because I wanted to get the day over with, and I found there's a lot less people on the running track. So I was doing that, but it's not my favorite thing by any means. So went ahead, got my run in, got back. Went ahead, grabbed a shower real quick. My mother and wife decided to wait till I got back from my run to go to the store. I'm not really sure what was up with that, but that's what they did. So they headed out to the store, had another dog get dropped off today. I'd done a meet and greet with it, but never watched the dog before. I got it for like kind of 10 days or something, 12 days. I got it for a long time. The owner's going up to New York, visiting some family. He used to live up there, and then a group of them are going over to Europe and then taking a cruise. So celebrating his 50th birthday, and it's a pretty big trip for him. So it's working out really well. I'd reached out to him a couple days ago and said, hey, have a chance to go to like a party gathering for the podcast type thing. I said, someone's getting together, and wondering if you could drop the dog off either early or late. And instead, the time he wanted to drop off was like that weird time when the party was actually happening. And I said, you can drop off like 3 o'clock or drop off like 10 in the morning. And he said the 10 in the morning would work a lot better for him, because that way he would have better time. He'd be able to get rid of the dog and then finish getting all of his packing done, and had a couple of run around things to do, and probably catch himself a nap. So I said, makes sense, 100%, let's do that. So had a little bit of the concept of going down to Tiffany Martin's new bar in Cocoa Beach. Little place. She came back from Vegas, California area, where she's been living for years, and her and her sister opened the bar together. I'm not sure exact ownership of it, but it's called Salty Sisters. And Tom and Dan podcast had a, I guess, customer appreciation or listener appreciation party there for everybody. So we were heading down to it, and the plan was going to be started at noon and then went on until whenever. So my thought was, well, if we get there right at noon, a little before, hang out there, and then for a couple hours, then an hour drive back would be no big deal. We'd be able to meet the guy at like 3 o'clock, drop the dog off. But since we dropped the dog off early, I was like, cool, no big deal. So we dropped the dog off. I didn't realize our time frame had changed for heading down there. I think my wife thought, well, since we already had the dog getting dropped off, we didn't have to rush back. So it wasn't a big deal when we left, which wasn't, but I didn't realize we'd changed our time frame. So I'm sitting here thinking it's 11 o'clock, we're gonna be leaving and get there around noon still, and she wasn't even back from the store yet or nothing. So we ended up leaving a little bit after noon, headed down, which wasn't a big deal, except when we wanted to actually get there, we showed up, karaoke just started, and when karaoke starts, it's noisy and it's loud, and not the greatest singers in the world in this group, but so we didn't have as much chance to talk to people as much and kind of wander around out of, just the noise level. But ended up taking the new little pit bull that I got with me down to the party. I asked the guy, I said, hey, if you drop off early, the dog's gonna go to the bar with me. If you're showing up late, I'll meet you, grab the dog afterwards and stuff. And he said, I'd rather go early. The dog loves traveling. The dog goes to a lot of restaurant stuff, doesn't beg for food and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's do that. So left the Doberman and the Doodle home with my mother. And I said, the Doodle gets to be too much, just put one of them outside, because the Doodle seems to want to play too much. The Doberman gets a little bit annoyed by it. So it's all good. Went ahead, and we showed up down at the party, found our way into the bar, and there's like a inside bar, and there's outside like patio area that's all just like sand. It's more like a beach bar, little tiki hut thing at the very back with karaoke and stuff. So I come rolling in there with this pretty good sized young pit bull that it's got the ears cropped and stuff. Not a big fan of, but I think that's the way he adopted the dog, whatever. So unneutered male. So I come rolling into this pit bull that who knows how people are gonna react to it. The dog's super chill. The dog's so great. Such a great dog. Went around, kind of made the rounds, chatted with a few people and whatnot, had a good time. Found herself a seat and It was not the greatest shade in the world, so we ended up out in the sun for a good part of it. And eventually some other people left. My wife moved over to the shade, so she was in the shade a lot more. She burns a lot easier than I do, so wasn't a big concern. They gave us like 4 free drink tickets and stuff, so wife had some drinks. They got really good food there and all kinds of cool stuff, so we hung out. Some guy was walking around passing out like buff pastries and like parfaits and all kinds of weird stuff that he was giving away, which I'm not sure if he was like what his deal was, but it seemed weird to be giving out a bunch of free food at a restaurant / bar, so felt kind of weird there. But we all had a good time. Everybody did the whole little karaoke singing. One of the ladies won karaoke. She was really, really good. Some other people were not good at all, but she won a little prize. I don't know what she got. They gave away a bunch of raffle tickets that we all had a chance to win, hats and all kinds of stuff. And they gave away a custom mini fridge that Eric Rabone had custom did up. He's the same guy that did my wife's anniversary gift, the orchid painting that he did for us. So we knocked that out. We just talked to him for a little bit and that. And they also gave away a cruise, and somebody won it. Like a 10-year-old kid won a prize. And everybody's like, is that 10-year-old BDM? Like, actually, not only is he a BDM, he's like a $10.95 a month BDM. So like, he's really into the show. He listens to the show. I actually called in a few times, left messages and stuff. So definitely the parents are raising that kid a little different than a lot of people do. Listen to this unedited podcast kind of thing, but they're having a good time with it. So they want to stay over at the Airbnb that Tom and Dan have sponsored. So that was a fun time. The dog chilled out. It was really good. I was hanging on a table in the shade. Every once in a while, I'd dig down the sand a little bit, kind of stir the top layer of the sand off to get to the cooler sand underneath, but ended up kicking some sand in one lady's shoes across the table from me. So I had to move me back a little closer to me because he was like still there moving sand around. She goes, he's got sand on my shoes again. So we were laughing about that. So all having a good time. And other people showed up at the bar because it wasn't like closed, just our event. Open to randos, and some random people showed up, had no idea what was going on. And then there's like, I don't know, 8 kids under the age of 8 probably that were there. Some were like 4, 5 years old. They went over to pet the dog, and absolutely. And then I've been giving him water out of the cups and stuff. The little kids were wanting to give the dog water, so they're back and forth trying to figure out how to give the dog water. And I told myself, put your hands out, and the dog would, drink the water as it hits your hand, kind of splashes and stuff. So these kids are all like, this whole line of kids are lined up to water this dog, and I'm laughing my butt off because the one mother is telling her kids, no, put your hands in his mouth farther so the water goes in. Put your hands in his mouth farther. No, put your hands in his mouth farther. And I'm like, okay, this is a Florida thing. This is only a Florida thing. When a mother meets a strange pit bull that she doesn't know and is telling her probably 6-year-old, maybe 7-year-old child, no, put your hands deeper in the dog's mouth so he can drink the water better. I was dying laughing inside. It was so funny. So we had a good time. Gave away a whole bunch of 3D printed items I made. Ended up giving away one of my cigars to one of my buddies that I know, and I know he knows cigars also. So we hung out, chatted a while, talked to a bunch of old friends, saw some people, like 6-8 people I think we went on the cruise with. It's gonna go back out in October with us on the cruise. So that was good, chatted with them, trying to figure out what costumes we're gonna do. It's gonna be over Halloween. Trying to figure out what we wanna do for Halloween costumes. So that's definitely, we're trying to do like a group. There's like, I think 40 of us. And there's like 20 more that are thinking about going. So we got a giant group of ourselves that are all going, which will be a way different cruise when you have a big group like that, people that you've been on a cruise with before and stuff. So always makes it way more fun. So we'll see how that goes. But we hung out there a while. We're there later than we planned on being there. Partly so we got there later, and 2, we didn't have to get back to meet the dog because the dog had already been dropped off. So it was all good. The dog loved the car ride. Everything was good there. He did such a good job. I was so proud of that dog. So we basically hung out there. The event kind of wrapped up. A lot of people were going to stay and get really drunk and hang out there for hours. People even got rooms there locally and whatnot. And I'm just not that big into a bunch of crazy drunken people. So yeah, there's that too. So went ahead and said, held it. We took off. Got back. My wife was a little bit tipsy after her 4 drinks, but it wasn't too bad. So we chatted a little bit. Came home. She decided to order pizza. Unfortunately, by the time she finally decided to order pizza, it was too late to pick it up on the way home. So, and for some reason, it's that weird time of day where I start to fall asleep, and I can't stay awake. It's just awful, especially if I'm not like doing something. And driving doesn't count as something, I guess, in my brain. So we were just chatting a little bit, and I was getting tired in that whole just feeling sleepy and almost missed my exit, which would have actually worked out probably better had we missed the exit. Went next exit, came back down, would have killed enough time. I probably could have stopped and got the pizza on the way in, but didn't. So I ended up back home, and then I had like 25 minutes for the pizzas to be ready, because they said it was gonna take 45 minutes to make the pizza, which I know it's not. But when you order online, they always add extra time, so I don't want you bitching that you got there and it's not done yet. And I despise that, because I hate having my pizza sitting in the oven, sitting there getting cold the whole time. Just not really I want my pizza straight out of the oven. I want to put it in the box and hand it to me. I want to wait there where the pizza's not quite done yet. That's what I prefer to have happen, but not the case this time. So I went ahead and said, hell with it. Got the dogs all settled in, got them all played with, got them make sure they're all good to go, and then headed back out. I went ahead and jumped in the vet. Haven't been driven it much since I got back from the cruise. So ran up there, grabbed my pizza. Of course, it was done. Probably been done for 15-20 minutes. So grabbed the pizza, headed back home. Knocked out a couple slices of pizza. Had somebody else picking the dogs up. Gave the dogs back. So I was like halfway through a slice of pizza, and they can't pick the dogs up. We each had a little bit. Gave them back to the dogs, and we're all good to go there. So ended up finishing the episode of Seinfeld. Ate my pizza, then headed back outside to hang out with the dogs outside, have another cigar. Actually, my first cigar of the day, which is super late for me to be smoking a cigar that late, but to start with. So I went ahead and had a cigar, hung out there, had the 3D printer running some. I had it running while I was gone, which is kind of nice. Come home to a finished print. It's kind of a fun little thing to have. But yeah, I just hung out there, finally wrapped it up, headed in, and didn't have a snack. Usually I have a snack in the evening, but I did not tonight. So that's all I got for now. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.